And now the Building Industry Association of Washington, BIAW, is actively encouraging people to contact the State Building Code Council before midnight tonight, because SBCC is updating 2024 through 2026 energy codes. And this refers to a whole lot of things about forced electrification in your house, about how efficiency standards are posted for the public. It's nice. You go to buy a new fridge and you can see, how energy efficient it is. So some of these are not objectionable to BIAW, but others are. Specifically, code provisions that penalize natural gas use and then drive up construction costs. Now, you may recall that voters passed Initiative 2066, saying they wanted to keep natural gas as an energy choice, but then there was a legal challenge to that, and a King County Superior Court judge ruled it to be unconstitutional, basically saying voters were confused. There was more than a single subject, and they didn't know what they were voting on. There was then an appeal from BIAW to the state Supreme Court, and those arguments happened back in January of this year. And there will be a ruling. We were hoping it was going to come before summer, but it likely will be maybe early fall when we get that ruling from the state Supreme Court on 2066. And BIAW says in the meantime, the State Building Code Council shouldn't be doing things to disincentivize natural gas. Why the state Supreme Court may very well say, you can't do that. You have to let people keep natural gas as an energy choice. So here is Greg Lane, Vice President of the Building Industry Association of Washington, talking about his concerns with SBCC, and he shares what they are most concerned about.
But there's a couple really bad proposals that they're moving forward with. One is doubling down, as I said, on the costs associated with prohibiting or greatly disincentivizing the use of natural gas. And they're adding additional requirements into the adoption of electric heat pumps into the code that will add another $1,000 to $1,500 per unit. And the payback on that is over 50 years, which, no one owns their home for that long. So again, that cost just goes on to the cost of building the house, and the buyers eat that cost, and they're never going to see any savings. And especially as we've watched and you've reported on the dramatic increases in electricity rates that have been coming out from Puget Sound Energy and other energy providers, as the demand for more electricity grows under these regulations. As we predicted, the cost of electricity is dramatically increasing across all of the Puget Sound area in particular, but also in Eastern Washington. And that's only going to continue to increase the more that we push people into full electrification. So not only do they have the cost of transitioning their home to all electric appliances, but the cost of providing electricity in their home is dramatically increasing as well.
Now, today brings one final public hearing. It's actually happening at City Hall in Spokane. It is a day-long hearing, so depending upon what time you're watching this podcast, it may still be going on. That's going to be in person as well as Zoom. I double-checked on that this morning because with all the fires in Spokane, they were considering potentially just making it an all Zoom meeting, but people can still show up at Spokane City Hall, and you can ask to provide public comment, feedback about all these proposed code changes for SBCC, or you can provide written comments. But again, the deadline is just shy of midnight tonight. You can also participate via Zoom, I should say, and there is a link to the Zoom conference going on through the day today in Spokane up on the SBC site. It's sbcc.wa.gov. So sbcc.wa.gov. And one other note, I've also learned that there are concerns from some members of SBCC that some of the code revision language may have been changed throughout this public comment period. And that could mean that comments that were made on earlier versions, people don't now realize that that's been changed during the process. And according to one member that I spoke with, that violates Washington's administrative code. And so that could certainly become an issue in the not so distant future. And there is some suggestion that maybe SBCC needs to hold off, maybe hold some more public hearings on this, make sure everybody's on the same page as to what the current status of all these code revisions are. And there are many. And if you're curious and need some weekend reading or something, again, you can check out the SBCC site for all those details. So that's it for today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily for this Friday, August the 7th. As always, thank you for watching, like, and subscribe. And I hope we get to see you again on Monday.